As a point of reference, my mother had 8 sons. Her mother had 7 children. Her mother had 11. Amy's mother, grandmother, great-grandmother on both sides. Her great-grandmother on my side lived to 98. Never had any kind of female problems. No breast cancer, no reproductive problems, ever. Her great-grandmother on her mother's side just died last October at the age of 105. She had 5 children. She came from a family of 11. So when Amy was born with her rash, I thought, well, okay, maybe it's just one of these things. But I'd like to maybe have Amy pick up her story, because it wasn't until she began to reach puberty that we began to understand that there may in fact be something a lot more to Agent Orange than just a simple rash.
I had an undeveloped digestive system. I had constant problems with my abdomen. Like my dad said, rashes, and my skin would peel. One of the little boys had cancer and was in a wheelchair. And they always gave us cookies and juice and things, and so we sat there, and as we're eating, he grabbed my hand. And he looked at me and I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "You look like me." And he held our hands together. And we both were red and blotchy, and we were both peeling. Well, when you think of a little 7-year-old girl, that right there is her validation for, you know what, you're not the only one. So then you move on to the age of 12, 13, right at that puberty stage. You don't know what's going on with your body. It's awkward. You always ask your daddy, why am I this? Why am I that? Well, honey, I was in Vietnam. I was sprayed with Agent Orange. At that young age, you don't know. You don't understand. I didn't understand. They're rushing me into this doctor, that doctor, and they say, oh, we have to do an upper GI, we have to do a lower GI, we have to do a colonoscopy. Okay, I'm 12. and back then, in the 80s, they didn't knock you out for a colonoscopy like they do now. You sit there on the table and you take it. Well, at 12, mom and dad are not allowed in there. You don't have to have female nurses because I'm a female. I'm in a room with 10 other guys just telling me it'll just be a few more minutes. But you can't eat because you know when you eat you're going to throw up. You can't go to the bathroom because you don't have a regular cycle. And everyone's like, you're just fine. Okay, well, fine, well, I won't eat. And then my problem was because I wasn't eating. Well, I can't eat. Went ahead, got married, had my first daughter. My pregnancy was a disaster. My oldest daughter is now going to be 17 in a few weeks. And for the last 2.5 years, she has been in and out of a wheelchair. She was diagnosed with RSD, which is a neurological disease. And she also has fibromyalgia. And her system mimics mine. She has the same abdominal issues. When I'm young, you look to mom and dad. You know, Daddy, please help me. Well, now I have my daughters looking to me. And when you're looking at a 3-month-old who is screaming, who can't talk, she can't even hear you, comfort her because she don't freaking hear. And she's in liver failure. And the doctor comes in, and this is the slap in the face that brings me back to my childhood, is we can't find anything wrong with her. Really, really. So her liver is 3 times larger than it should be for a 3-month-old. And when she uses the restroom, you know, the feces is pure white. She can't eat, she can't nurse, she can't do anything. But there's nothing wrong with my daughter. And although she can hear, her eardrums speed up and slow down on their own. And the audiologist that she has seen her whole life cannot figure out for the life of him why. So sometimes it's very sensitive and sometimes it's not. up coming down over the years and 22 surgeries later is that they found every single cyst and tumor that was taken out of me all came back from the lab inconclusive. They don't know what's wrong with me. Emotionally, I'm 37 now. I'm still not healed. I am still not healed emotionally from not being able to have more children. I've started a new life again with my husband, and I would love nothing more than to have a child with him. And I can't do that. I was 26, and I said, hell no. I have lost enough, you have taken enough. And they said, well, you know what, Amy? You better realize that your chances of getting breast cancer are 33% higher with this disease than a normal woman with a history of breast disease in their family. And I said, you know what then? Bring it on. Because you can't take this from me, this from me. I'm not going to have any parts left. I still have cysts and tumors. In another month or two, they'll be doing another biopsy because I asked them once again last month to please don't put me through this again. But it's coming. And you say to your doctor, well, what about the effects of Agent Orange? And they laugh at you. They laugh. After all the Vietnam vets are gone, I'm still going to be here. Hannah and Holly are still going to be here. And in the next 10 years, my girls are going to be here with their kids. And if they have these problems as well with my grandkids, who's going to fight for them?